Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and since it's Women's History Month, I'm here today to talk to you about Power Rangers Super Samurai, A Strange Case of the Munchies. So, Samurai is not my favorite season. Let me just put that out there right now. In fact, it was the season that had me officially done with Power Rangers after I saw the first episode that was aired out of order. I'm all like, I'm done. After a couple of the stuff that happened in the Disney era, I was just like, I can't take it no more. And so I stopped. For the longest time, I can't talk. Until Super Dino Charge. Then I went back and I rewatched everything and I watched this season. And I've only seen Super Samurai once in its entirety. So there's some things I might get wrong in here, just to let you know. But needless to say, I don't like this season. In fact, I think it might be the only season I truly 100% like, my least favorite one out of all the seasons and stuff. And that's saying a lot because I'm disappointed with Ninja Steel. I'm bored with Dino Fury, and Turbo is just a goof troop. But, this show did give us our first truly 100%, well, not really. It gave us our second female Red Ranger, and she lasted a bit longer than the one in SPD, and plus the one in SPD was evil and was barely on screen, and this one's at least was in there for a couple of episodes. But yeah, needless to say, this is just like, so that was a cool thing, but of course she never lasted that long, Lauren. And after just get through talking about Lauren, I will talk about Mia, but I'll talk about Mia in like my Asian, Heritage Month video and stuff. And so I honestly don't even have really a favorite in not Ninja Samurai, but Power Rangers Samurai. And you know what's really weird? It's almost like Hasbro doesn't want to acknowledge Power Rangers Samurai. Like, have you noticed that there are no toys that have come out for the Lightning Collection in this series? And not only that, but you know how you see like YouTubers, you barely see them talk about Samurai, and nobody has ever done like an interview from Samurai that I have known of. You know what I'm saying? And even in Megaforce, when they brought everybody back, they brought back 3 members of like this series, but like, well, technically 4, but one's not a ranger. And when the Red Ranger and the Mentor showed up, it was the most awkward thing ever, and he just literally showed up in like the Froyo shop to give a little advice, and I think give probably like that giant circle disc thing, and that was about it. And then like 2 of them, the Yellow and the Green Rangers, showed up for the legendary battle just to take their helmets off and didn't say not a word. They just stood there and smiled. And I'm just like, that's really what you did? You flew all the way to New Zealand just to smile in a cameo? I'm just kind of like, I felt so bad for them, man. I felt so bad for them, but at least the Green Ranger got to put on the Green Ranger's gold vest and a behind the scene like picture and stuff, so that made his day and stuff. And so like, but yeah, man, it's just something about this series. I just don't know, man. It's just like people kind of just want to like forget about it. And it's sad that 2 of their stars ended up in jail. One's out now and the other one's still in there and stuff. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But this episode is an Emily-centered episode. But it's a confusing episode. And the moral story doesn't make any sense in this episode. It's almost like it's a filler episode. And I just don't understand this episode, but it is a pretty interesting episode, and I do like how the Yellow Ranger kicks some butt towards the end, but it's just a very, very odd, confusing type episode and stuff. Basically, Emily, what's also really weird is that The names are similar in Megaforce. Like you have Emily and you have Emma. You have Mia and you have Gia. Like seriously, they couldn't think of anything more creative for Megaforce when it came to the names. And tell you the truth, the yellow Megaforce Ranger actually auditioned for Samurai, but like she felt like something just wasn't right, and I think she quit the audition or something like that. But then they called her back for like Megaforce and stuff. And so with this episode, Emily is training with Mike, and it's not going very well. To where Kevin tells her, "You're just too nice, and you need to toughen up." And so that really hits her really hard. And the thing about that is like some people in the world are a little too nice. I would prefer for them to be nice because there are too many evil people in the world, but sometimes people do have to toughen up. Like it's that weird saying that nice people finish last or something like that. And it's quite a shame. And because you can't be a pushover all your life, but you don't want to start no like event that's going to cause you to like get arrested or like put something on your permanent record. And so it's one of those things you have to balance. Like it's good to be a good person, but every once in a while you do have to like toughen up and everything, because you have to also make sure people don't like push you around, and you have to defend yourself, but you have to do it in a way that's smart and not going to get you arrested. But anyway, Mia comes in and it's supposed to be like a sale on like a mall, and I do like this montage of them at the mall posing in different outfits. Those are some really cool outfits and stuff. And so like and the girls just look great in those. And I've been wondering what happened to this cast. You don't see them no more. You don't see them on reunion specials. You don't see them in interviews. You just don't see them, period. I am very curious to see what they look like nowadays. And like, what they've been up to and stuff. I swear this is like a forgotten like season almost. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen the actress Lauren in a couple of stuff, but that's about it. And because she was in the show Creamery and everything. And she was also in Flat 3, a web series that was also made by the girls who made Creamery. And so like one thing I do like about Samurai, I like the different location. I like how it's out by like the pier, the dock area. There's lots of water, stuff like that. Because the problem I'm having with Power Rangers lately is that everything looks the same, no matter what different location they're in. And that's very irritating, but at least this one's very fresh and stuff. Also, I'm really digging the rebooted version of like the remix version of like the theme song from Mighty Morphin. It just has that cool electric guitarness to it. And so Bulk and Spike is of course that of Skull's son, are in the mall. Now Spike wants to be like a samurai, and for whatever reason Bulk think he can train him, and also he has a crush on Mia. I'm pretty sure Mia is older than him, because I never hear nothing about them going to high school or nothing like that. And so like Bulk has been trying to teach Spike, how to like, be a samurai and also hit on the ladies and ask her out, but he can't. He's too nervous. Spike and Bulk. And I give that the actor credit who plays Spike. That man has some tough shoes to fill, and he filled them pretty well. But I'm tired of humor, plain and simple as that. And I don't want them to try to recreate that Bulk and Skull magic, which they had done time and time again. And this time they recreated it with Bulk and Skull's son. And it's weird because Bulk and Spike are literally in their own world in this series. They rarely interact with the Rangers either in their Ranger form or civilian form. So I was remembering when I was watching this, I'm just like, well, what's the point in having Bulk and Spike in there if they don't even interact with the Rangers? Now, truly, back in the olden days, Bulk and Skull were in their own little world, but it always related to whatever's going on with the Power Rangers, and they interacted with like, every set of new Rangers that was there until they both finally left the show. Here, it's just like they're on their own little world. But in this episode, they actually get to interact with them, which really shocked and surprised me and stuff. So she drops a wallet. He's unable to give it to her because he's shy and all this other stuff. So basically, what he's going to do is find out where she lives, go to her place, and stuff like that. Now, the monster of this episode, he gives people the munchies. Oh, well, I wonder what they was really thinking over in Japan when they like came up with that premise and stuff. The munchies, come on now. So basically, the Rangers are unable to defeat him. He's blasting people left and right, and he blasts all the Rangers except for Emily. So now everybody is just constantly hungry and eating, which makes for a very hilarious scene with the Rangers. I gotta say, this is one of the best choreography type scenes I've ever seen, and all they're doing is eating and falling around on the floor and stuff, and all the Rangers except for Emily are literally just chowing down. I wonder how they felt about that. I gotta find an interview with some of these people, man, to hear their story, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm curious and stuff. How do they feel about Power Rangers and stuff? And especially this eating scene. And so it's like almost like a food fight, but not really, and they're just like pigging out, and it's like hilarious to see. And so like Bulk and Spike show up, and the mentor dude who's now in jail for doing something really disgusting and nasty, he answers the door, and he tells me that I can't teach to be a samurai and everything, so he makes Emily get rid of them. But before he does that, Bulk being Bulk, he just barges into their home and everything and realize they live in a dojo and stuff like that. And this is when he wants to be taught, but of course he can't. So Bulk's just like doing whatever he wants in these people's home, And that's really weird. Like even the old Bulk would never do anything like that, even when he was a bad boy. And so is it Master Jiao? Is that his name? I can't remember. Anyway, he tells Emily to like get rid of them. And for some bizarre reason, she don't do that. I don't understand. Like this is the part that's very confusing with her story arc in this season. Now I don't remember nothing about Emily, so I don't know how she is. I think the Pink Ranger Mia, I think she cooks but can't cook and have a brother and stuff like that. That's all I remember with them. But I know Antonio has something to do with fish. And I know Jaden is the false Red Ranger and stuff, and that's all I really know. And so that's all I can remember. And so for whatever reason, Emily doesn't get rid of them. She actually puts them through like boot camp training. So for whatever reason, she's now dressed in military fatigues, and puts on a bob wig and I think sunglasses. And she just bosses them around and tells them to like, do like a million like, push-ups in her squeaky little voice. And it actually makes for a very hilarious scene, but a very awkward and confusing scene. So then she'll go back, take the wig and everything off, and then she'll go back to the Rangers trying to make them stop eating. And then so she goes back and forth doing the same thing. And when she's in the military fatigue, she's acting like a tough girl. And you keep hearing in the background Kevin calling her, oh, you're too nice and everything. So I guess she's trying to toughen up, but why? And why towards Bulk and Spike? And so she puts them through like a bunch of tests that are just ridiculous and pointless. I don't understand that. Well, in the way, the monster's back. And somehow Jaden is the only one who can withstand the munchie curse thing and go fight the monster. It's not explained how, because the other Rangers can't. And when he's fighting the monster, he's fighting like he normally does. And it's not explained how, like how is he able to overcome the spell even though he is still affected. And I guess it's supposed to show he has a lot of willpower, but whatever, man. Like you gotta explain some things a little bit better than that. And so since she's not infected and she knows he's gonna need help, which she should have just went out there to begin with, she goes out there to morph, and she actually has lipstick in her hand when she tries to morph, which is supposed to be something funny, but I felt very cringy, and this is why I hate humor in Power Rangers. And so then she takes out her thing and she morphs. And so, she's doing a pretty good job of fighting along by herself alongside Jaden and stuff. Because she knows she's the only one who's mentally prepared to fight this monster, because everybody else is like too whacked out on munchie like cursing and everything. And so like he gives her, I forget what this is called. They have to use like things called like symbol power and stuff, and and she used like a brick wall and stuff like that. But he gives her some type of disc, and it turns, I think, them into the like a super samurai. I think, I'm not really sure, but it's like this white like outfit that they wear, and it's normally the Red Ranger who uses it, but he gives it to her. So it's cool to see her in it, and it gives her that boost she needs and that extra energy to help whoop on the monster and everything. And whoop on him she does. And it's a really cool like a spinning effect that she uses, and I really like how she leveled up. And now she's acting like the tough girl and stuff when it comes to fighting, which she has to do because she was too nice and holding back when it came to fighting. And so I wish that could have been the moral of the the story throughout the whole thing, but it wasn't. It was just a bunch of like silliness and stuff. So in a way, after they like dispose of him, the Rangers, I guess, are free. They morph. They come out to help. He's big, and they call on the Zords, and he's whooping the Zords behind big time, and I mean big time, and to where they're really getting their butts kicked. But then she has an idea. Now, the cockpit, this is the introduction of like the standing cockpit, but they don't all do the same moves. They just hold on to like some type of like lever type thing. And it was okay when they did it the first time. But after they kept repeating it over and over in seasons and seasons, it got redundant. Now, I love the cockpit outfits that they came up with. Those are American made to sell toys, and the Gold Ranger looks amazing. And so like, if they can make the gold vest look that shiny and stuff, why can't they do it when they like, ever they kept bringing back Tommy and everything and putting him in that foam vest? I just don't understand it. But anyways, she has an idea. She's gonna disassemble and blind the monster so that the Rangers can get the final blow, and it works. Well, anyway, Spike gives back Mia's wallet and stuff like that. And I forget what happens after that. But basically, this is, like I said before, an Emily solo episode and stuff. And I don't know what to say about it because I don't remember much about her and everything. But I do like how sweet and she is and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just I wish the moral of the lesson could have been stronger. Like maybe she was too nice fighting like the monsters and kept getting the butt kicked. And it would have been better if somebody would have got hurt as a result of that, and then she had to toughen up. That would have been a whole lot better of an episode than them just eating and everything, and a lot of silliness and changing of the clothes. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.